Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and this week's episode of Ant's Antics. So today I thought I would sit down and have a bit of a chat with you. If you watched my video from last week, you'll know that I'm working on a project at the moment to submit yesterday and sort of present to the design manager. So where I left off last week was I was doing the mood board, the colour story, I was doing the key materials, the key hardware, and I was also doing key shapes. Now, this week has moved on quite a bit. I worked really hard over the weekend to get my shapes together and get some designs on paper, and I'm going to go through them with you in a little bit, but I thought I would give you a little update on what has gone on over this week. So it's been super busy. I've been working on this project non-stop and I've had a lot of back and forth with my recruiter. Normally, my recruiters don't have as much involvement as this recruiter has on my project, but she was super good. She was super particular and she's been working with this particular brand for years, so she knows the customer, she knows the demographic, and she knows what they're looking for. So it was a really good insight into the company and into the business, and I'll honestly say she was amazing. Now, if you come across recruiters and they are super helpful and they're trying to give you advice and critique and they're saying that you should change this, change that, honestly, take their advice because they are the people that know the company and know what's best. Obviously, it's your designs, it's your direction, you want to take it in the best way possible, but if they're saying, this isn't really working for the company or the shape isn't quite right, take it on board. They're trying to help you, they're trying to get you the job, and they're trying to really push you forward as the best candidate possible. So as I say, there was a lot of back and forth on my project. I'd do some bits, do some tweaks, go back and re-evaluate everything and just make sure it was as good as possible, which I always think is really important to do. When you've completed a project, go over it with a fine-tooth comb and say, is my final product the same as where I started out at, and does it follow the same train of thought? And if it doesn't, then go back and amend a few bits, because honestly it makes a world of difference when it comes to presenting your project. Now, I've had a couple of emails. There was a freelance position that I told you about that my friend had put me forward for, and they got in contact with me and they want me to do like a little audition. So next week what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a day of trend research and CADing up, so they can see what I can do in a day, because it's 4 days a month. I know that doesn't sound a lot, but it's a really good start for freelancing. So let's see how that goes. I also got an email midway through the week, just before I was about to hand in my project. And the high street retailer that I applied for a job for actually got back to me and said they've decided to go with someone internally, which is super gutting because it was a job that I was very interested in. And honestly, how many jobs have I gone for now? I've gone for quite a few jobs. So I've had 4 first stage interviews with different companies and different levels. I've actually had 3 project submissions from them, and so far I didn't get 2 of the jobs that I submitted projects for. And as I've said before, it's really super difficult to even get an interview. To get past the first stage of interview and be given a project, that's a massive achievement in itself, and to be at the final stages of this job is actually really good. So I'm super proud of myself, especially in the current climate where people are literally competing for jobs. For me to have 4 interviews, 3 second stage project submissions is amazing. So I'm really super proud of myself, and I think that's the whole point, is even though I haven't got 2 of the jobs that I submitted projects for so far, you have to keep in mind what's actually going on at the moment, and I'm just super grateful that I've had interviews, and I'm super grateful that I've actually been able to do projects because it's keeping my mind going. So let's just get on and show you what I've done on the project. So this is actually the finalized project. I actually had my interview yesterday and it went really well. I think they really liked the project, but this is the final project. I'm just going to go through the whole project so you can see it from start to finish, and yeah, hopefully you like it, and hopefully this company really likes it as well, because it sounds like a super fun international position. So this is the actual final board. You will have seen a few incarnations previously. It has been amended, it has been slightly tweaked so it fits better in with the trend and the actual styles that I've been doing. So it's still called Undisturbed Nature. It's really focusing on natural influences and back to basics, preserving nature and having a minimal impact on our environment, which is always really key. Key colours that I've gone for is chalk, butterscotch, taupe, black, dark olive, and then a really nice cognac colour. And then from here I go on to my fabric inspirations, and it's all about natural materials, shearling, teddy borgs, hair on hide, natural prints, and then we also go into neutral exotics, crop socks, snake embosses, and veg tan looking vegan leathers. Now, if you're wondering about vegan leathers, I have actually done a video on it. Click here and I talk about all the different types of vegan leathers, how it's made, what the impact is on our environment, and what actually is vegan leather, so go and check that out. And then I move on to my key hardware. So it's all about minimalistic hardware. It's really key for this trend. It's features such as chains and locks and statement pieces and inset buckles. Other hardware is to be subtle and sophisticated with enamel inlays and inset eyelets and decorative buckles for belts. So really, really exciting stuff. Moving on to the key shapes, I've got the baguette bag, the belt bag, the backpack, crossbody, small leather good add-ons, top handle tote, intricate waist belts and phone holders. And the key thing is when you're building up your trend pack, you always have to revisit it and make sure that you're including the key styles. So I actually didn't have a backpack on here. I didn't have the phone holder, but it was two key pieces that I felt like I was missing, so I made sure to include that in here. So moving on to the actual bag. So these are a couple of designs that I've done for the range. So here we've got a crossbody and we've got a backpack, we've got a tote, we've got a baguette bag, and then we've also got a nice belt bag. Now, a key feature on this design is this kind of channel with a bar going through, and then it's got flat end caps at the end to stop anything coming off. This is how the top handle attaches with dog clips, and then you've also got a chain with woven leather going through it and dog clips as well. And then you've also got the featured padlock with leather coverings and a padlock loop as well, so it's very exciting. And this is something that carries on through the range. If you notice on the tote, it's also got that kind of feature with the flat end caps, but this is a flat handle that sits flat on the front body, and the leather kind of goes round and onto it, and this kind of bar goes through and clips it all together and makes it look really nice and tidy. You've also got the padlock on the waist belt as well, which is really fun. And then you've got two bags without the padlock, just in case, you know, some people don't like the features. Got a drawstring backpack with a nice buckle, and then a feature baguette bag. Obviously the baguette bag was a massive thing in the 90s. It's a key piece that was in the Fendi collection, and I just thought it'd be really nice to update it with the chunky chain and adding a crossbody shoulder strap as well. Moving on to the small leather goods. Now, this was something that I really felt important to put into the range, is small leather goods and belts, and then also tech accessories, because at the job that I'll be in, if I get it, I will be covering not just bags, but I'll also be covering small leather goods, accessories, tech gifts, and also new innovations and things like that. So you've got a matinee purse, and then you've also got a card wallet as well. Then you've also got a coin purse, and this is kind of like the Jacquemus style that can go around your neck and it just zips around, and it's also got a really nice Bombay edge to it. Now, if you don't know what Bombay is, it's slightly raised edge that's padded underneath to give you a bit of a 3D dimension texture. You've also got a card wallet that's slightly longer, so you can fit maybe 5 or 6 cards in there, with a receipt slot and a zip to put all your notes in, so that's really fun. You've got two different types of phone case. You've got one that's again a bit of the Jacquemus kind of small bag style with the lock and feature, and you've also got a crossbody with card slots and a receipt slot as well. I've also focused on a few little statement belts. So you've got a waist belt, and this has got a key feature of a chain on it, which is really fun. And then you've also got a hip belt that would go really well with jeans, or maybe like a bit more of a flowy dress if you want to wear that belt slightly lower. And this has also got a key feature of a chain on, but this chain is solid, you can't move it, and it's kind of in a circle and double loop, kind of similar to the Gucci style really. That Gucci style is amazing and everyone's still wearing it, and this is kind of like a dupe of that. Moving on, it's the factory spec and tech pack. So let me just quickly go through that with you. So if you've seen my video previously about how to make tech packs, I'll leave a link here, and it goes through all the ways of making tech packs, but I'll just go through this one with you really quickly. So as you can see, I've got 3 different colours on it. It's the white, the yellow and the blue, and that signifies different materials that is going to be used on the bag. All of my measurements are in red, all of my details and annotations are in green. Just makes it easier for the supplier to see. I've got a list of amendment colours at the bottom, so if something changes colour, say if something's pink, you know it's on the 4th amendment and it's been amended 4 times, which is rare and it never really happens, but you don't know, sometimes bags are complicated. Then you've got all of the sort of information at the bottom, like the season, customer, supplier. You've got the style number, the range name, internal, description, date, and designer, which is me. Moving on, you've got a bit more of the hardware and internals. So here you can see that it's a zoomed up shot of the flat cap and metal bar that's going to go through the channel on the top of the bag. You've got a zoomed in version of the lock and how the leather covering is going to be, and you've also got an image to show how the leather is going to be woven through the chain. You've also got some internal details, the emboss, the kind of zip collar, and the zip construction as well with the zip pull. And then finally you've got page 3 of the tech pack, and this goes through your bomb, your color layout. So at the top you've got all your different colors for that style, and at the bottom you've got your materials bomb, so it goes through the style of the drop, the main body, trim 1, the lining, stitch, edge paint, emboss, slip tape, and hardware. And this is a really good way of laying it out if you're working on a PLM system, which is a product lifestyle management system, and it's basically like an online version of this where everything gets inputted by product developers or sometimes designers, but you need to lay out every material, every hardware, every piece of thing that's on the bag so it can be accounted for and costed. And then you've also got the hardware bomb, so I always split this out to outer and internal. You've got the supply, the hardware, the location, the quantity, and you've also got internals, so you've got supply, hardware, location, and quantity on that as well. Okay, so guys, that is everything for my project. As I said, my interview went really well, and I really enjoyed speaking to the team. It seemed like it would be a really fun place to work. I've actually been looking up the place where it'll be, but now it's just a waiting game to see what's actually going to happen. Next week is going to be working on that freelance project that I've been talking about, so that's quite exciting. Let's see if I can get the designs done in one day. What they want me to do is, and I'll explain more next week, but is they want a kind of capsule collection once a week, so that's why it's only 4 days a month, and they want it to be a bit more high fashion. They want it to be a bit more of a statement piece. It's a bit more interest, and it's basically going to go on their website, and it's going to be the show pieces of the range. So that's really fun and exciting. But I'll go through more of that with you next week. But for now, that's everything. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that beautiful red subscribe button down below. Please also check out my Etsy shop where you can buy CADs and vectors to help support you in your everyday design life, and it really helps to support this channel. Please leave a comment. Did you like my project? Did you not like the project? Do you think I'm going to get the job? Who knows? Let's see. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Alright, okay, thanks for watching. Alright, bye. Tra. Bye.